The corporation behind the Dakota Access Pipeline has already begun drilling, and that's after Donald Trump gave them the green light to do so. However, there are some individuals who are fighting back, and they're doing so through the courts. Apparently, the Army Corps on Wednesday granted the easement to Dakota Access LLC, the company building the pipeline. In a series of court papers filed just after 3 a.m. on Thursday, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe, one of the two tribes that has been challenging the pipeline in court since last year, asked the judge to intervene. So the tribe is arguing that the Army Corps failed to consider the substantial impact of this project on tribal members' free exercise of their religion, since it would be built through a site they believe is sacred. They're concerned about sacred burial grounds. They're also very much concerned about their drinking water, and I think those are legitimate concerns. And so what they're asking in this case is that the judge at least temporarily halt the construction to ensure that a proper review is done, and we'll see how it goes. A lawyer for the Dakota Access LLC told the judge that it would take about 60 days to finish building the pipeline once construction resumed, and about 80 days until oil is flowing through it. So obviously this will all happen very quickly, and the Native Americans in this case have a legitimate concern that if they don't at least temporarily halt construction, they might just construct everything and do the damage before, you know, their lawsuit is heard and decided.
They should have that fear, because I'm sure that the company has been ready to just do it as fast as possible, which probably bodes well for its safety in the future.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they did that. I think it's an interesting tactic that this latest round of trying to get the courts to stop it is based on the free exercise clause. But it's also an interesting one because we reported a couple of weeks ago one of the first executive orders was to protect deeply held religious beliefs and individuals who are just trying to exercise them in business contexts. And so we'll find out, is he only talking about a particular type of evangelical Christian, or do other sorts of people's deeply held spiritual beliefs also count? I mean, if you can ban someone from coming into your bakery based on your views of their religion, can you ban them from coming into your area and driving a pipeline through it? It seems like maybe you should, but there could well be some hypocrisy here.
Exactly. Well, there is some more action being taken against the Dakota Access Pipeline and those who are funding it or helping to fund it. Now, Wells Fargo has been funding the Dakota Pipeline, and as a result, there have been some cities or, you know, local politicians at least who have decided, yeah, we're gonna pull our money out. Okay, we're done with you. So we reported on this last week, and Seattle was the first city to do so. Seattle City Council voted against renewing a contract with the bank next year, which will result in a loss of $3 billion in funds from the city. Soon after Seattle voted to pull funds from Wells Fargo, the Davis, California City Council followed suit and voted to find a new bank to handle its accounts in the next year. So we have cities taking action against this. And look, even if it doesn't do anything to stop the construction of the pipeline, it at least sends a pretty strong message to, first of all, by the lawmakers to the people that, hey, we hear you, we represent you, and this is unethical behavior. And also, it sends a strong message to banks and kind of puts them on notice regarding the types of businesses they plan on funding.
Yeah, and obviously banks use a number of different criteria to choose what businesses to invest in or to give loans to, and generally those are economic projections and risk assessments. But it could be, and many banks already have this, the sort of the moral, the value component to what these companies do. There are a lot of banks who only invest in certain types of corporations, who hold to certain political or religious values. And it could be that maybe with enough activism around the country, the largest banks can also start to move in that direction too.
Exactly. So this is a little bit of good news regarding a devastating story. But I love the activism in this case. You know, the political activism that arose because of the Dakota Access Pipeline, and now because of some of Trump's executive orders, gives me a little bit of hope. Because you didn't see this type of political engagement, you know, during the Obama years. You didn't see it.
Well, they went against the Dakota Access Pipeline during Obama, and the Keystone Pipeline.
That's true. To be fair, that's true. But I guess what I mean by that is this type of activism wasn't really around like 5 years ago. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
maybe.
You saw Occupy Wall Street, which was great, and I love that. But I think that the media did a good job, not a good job, I disagreed with it, but they did an effective job in delegitimizing them and shutting them down. And
That's
in this
true.
case, protesters are not letting that happen, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Become a TYT member and get all of our shows, including the ones only members see: Old School, Aggressive Progressive, our post games, TYT Classics, and you even get the interviews before anyone else does. TYTnetwork.com/join.